What's up, Ravens fans? Draft week is here, and we're all excited to see what the Ravens have in store throughout this weekend. There's lots to discuss as we get ready for the first round on Thursday night. And to help me do that here today, well, we've got these three gentlemen here on the big board inside our studio here. We've got John Eisenberg, Clifton Brown, and Ryan Mink. These are the experts on everything related to the Ravens and the draft. So today we're going to kick off our series of draft analysis videos by looking at positions of need. So Cliff, I'll start with you. What do you see as the biggest position of need on the Ravens team right now?
Well, Garrett, I thought offensive line was a position of need before they traded Orlando Brown. So now that Orlando's gone, I'm not going to change my mind. The way they like to play football, and with him being gone, I definitely feel that's their biggest need.
Yeah, I kind of flip-flopped on this. At first, I was at pass rusher, and now I'm going to offensive line. I think, obviously, you have a starting position at right tackle that you need to fill immediately. You could still upgrade at center. At pass rusher, there's still a lot of need there, but if you were to line up today, you could line up at outside linebacker and you'd be fine.
I mean, I agree that, you guys know me. Offensive line, I've been O-line all offseason. However, I do think as we get closer here, edge rusher, it is a position of need. We're talking need. I mean, what they need really is the next generation there. So, they might be able to fill in for this year with a free agent, but, this would be a time to find a guy that you can build around at that position.
Yeah, John, I totally understand that. I mean, when you look at pass rusher, the Ravens lost two really good pass rushers in Matthew Judon and Yannick Ngakoue, and so this could be an opportunity to replace those guys with a talented young player. But rather than talking about pass rusher, I just got to point out here, so we've gone down the line, and all three of you have not mentioned wide receiver. And I think if we were to put this question to the fans and throw it out there as a straw poll to Ravens fans, wide receiver might be number one on this list, but none of you guys mentioned that. Now, the Ravens obviously have addressed the receiver position by adding Sammy Watkins in free agency, but they're still looking for a big play wide receiver they could try to find in this year's draft. And you look at the mocks, the most common guys mocked to the Ravens are probably receivers, Terrace Marshall Jr. and Rashad Bateman. That's been probably the top two most popular players mocked. So why aren't you saying receiver?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's more quality versus quantity at wide receiver. Sure, I think the Ravens could take a first-round wide receiver. It wouldn't shock me. I do think that they're looking for kind of another long-term weapon for Lamar Jackson, but let's not forget that this team runs the ball more than any team in the NFL by a wide margin, and that's not changing. And they have a lot of good young wide receivers, so I don't think it's a draft where you need to take – I don't even think you have to take two guys, or it's not like a third round and day three, stockpile wide receivers. I want to see what some of these young guys like a Devin Duvernay and James Prochet and, more reps for Miles Boykin and Hollywood. The Ravens have a young nucleus there. If you can add a top-end piece, great. But I don't think that it's a huge need in terms of quantity.
So we're going to go through and give you our picks before draft night. But real quick, are either of you guys taking a receiver with one of the first two picks that the Ravens have?
No, I'm not.
0 for 3, and it's going to be 0 for 4 but for me as well. So we're going to come up with that later this week and give you a full breakdown of who the Ravens are going to take in the first round of this draft. We're also going to break down a potential dream scenario for this team. That's coming up tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and we'll have more for you tomorrow.